Well, I'm joined now by the human rights campaigner, Peter Tatchell. Very good to see you, Peter. And I think I say that that decision by the Supreme Court surprised many. Many may be surprised about what you're going to tell me about why you support the Supreme Court's ruling.
Well, of course, I totally disagree with Ash's Bakery in their opposition to marriage equality. But as a Democrat and as a human rights defender, someone who believes in freedom of expression, I'm very reluctant to support businesses or individuals being compelled to aid or facilitate events with which they disagree. And that was really the crux of this case. It's a case about freedom of expression, not about gay rights or sexual orientation. And I think that the outcome of this judgment is that not only is Ash's in a position now where it can lawfully refuse to decorate a cake with a pro-gay marriage message, but equally, gay bakers are free to refuse to decorate a cake with messages against gay marriage. So I think, you know, it's a win-win. And of course, this is much more than a gay rights issue, because if the Supreme Court had gone the other way and said that the Ash's Bakery should be compelled, that any business should be compelled by law to promote messages, even if they disagree with them, then, in theory at least, a Muslim printer could be required to publish the cartoons of Muhammad, or a Jewish printer could be required by law to publish a book advocating Holocaust denial. So I think that both those steps would be very, very retrograde.
And the Ashes presumably could have been pursued through the courts if the ruling had gone the other way.
Absolutely.
Makes it very different.
I just think it's, you know, really important in this case, although it's complex and there are grey areas, I prefer to err on the side of freedom of expression. Even for people I disagree with to express their opinion, or in this case, not be compelled to express an opinion or facilitate an opinion with which they disagree.
But tell me about, I mean, you know, the length of time it's been going on, and given the issue underlying it, and given the decades, the many decades, if you don't mind me saying, that you've been involved in campaigning for LGBT rights. I mean, you've been getting quite a lot of stick over this issue, haven't you? From people that perhaps I suspect you may have called colleagues and friends over the years.
Well, yes. I mean, a lot of people have confused the discrimination against an idea, same-sex marriage, with discrimination against the person. And the Supreme Court ruled very clearly today that Gareth Lee, the guy who ordered the cake with a pro-same-sex marriage message, he was not discriminated against because he was gay. You know, Ashers were perfectly willing to serve him, but they weren't prepared to put that message on the cake. And, you know, the Supreme Court said that regardless of who had gone into that shop to order that cake with that message, Ashers would have refused. So even if a straight person had gone to Ashers and asked for a cake with the words "support gay marriage," Ashers would have refused it. So therefore, it was not discrimination based on sexual orientation.